Hi, welcome to the Louie File. You know, a lot of things changed from the old covenant to the new covenant. Now, this morning I was thinking about this, and a couple things came to me right off the bat. There's some scriptures in it's Exodus 33, I believe it is, where Moses asked God. He says, "Show me your glory." He said he wanted to see him, and God says, "Well, you couldn't handle that, Moses." But he says, "I'll tell you what I will do. I will put you in this rock over here, and you'll be able to see me when I pass by." Right? So Moses is wanting to see God's glory, and he does in fact see what the Bible describes as the back parts of God. In the New Testament, the disciples tell us in John, the Gospel of John, the first chapter, he says, "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we saw His glory. Glory as of the only begotten from the Father, full of grace and truth." So what Moses was wanting to see, and did see, in a sense, the disciples got to see, and it's just marvelous fullness with when Jesus, God Himself, became flesh. And there's another thing that came to me, and it's from Psalms 51, where King David is really broken and repentant over his sin with Bathsheba. And at one point he said he pleads with God not to take His Spirit from him. You can just feel the pain in that cry, but does a New Testament believer really have to fear that? Do we really have to fear that God will take away His Spirit? The Bible tells us that Jesus said, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." And in Ephesians, the letter to the Ephesians, it says that we are sealed until the day of redemption by the Spirit. So I don't think that He's going to take Himself from us. Not since the cross, not since the death, burial, and resurrection, because whenever Jesus went back to the Father and He sent the Spirit here, to those of us that received His Spirit, to those of us that had repented and believed and trusted and by faith received the Holy Spirit, we became one with Him. In 1 Corinthians 6:17 it says, "He that is joined to the Lord is one spirit." So I don't think God's going to rip us in half in order to remove His Spirit from us. That's good news. And then another thing that got me, and I think a lot of people struggle with this, it's in Jeremiah 17:9, where he makes a statement. He says that the heart is desperately wicked. And this is a big deal for New Testament believers, because a lot of believers walk around condemned, and they don't like themselves, and they're suspicious of themselves. They just know there's sin there. They know that they're disobedient. They just know they're hard-headed and rebellious. They just assume that. I mean, it's really a sad situation. In Ezekiel 36, verses 26 and 27, God predicted or prophesied through Ezekiel, or to Ezekiel, what the new covenant was going to be. And He said, "I'm going to take out your heart of stone. I'm going to give you a new heart." He said, "I'm going to give you a heart of flesh." And He said, "I'm going to put my Spirit in you, and I'm going to move you to do what I would have you to do." So in the New Testament, when we receive Christ, we receive a new heart. So when Jeremiah was talking about that desperately wicked heart, that was an old covenant heart. That was prior to the new deal that had been established through the cross. In fact, I want to read you a verse found in Hebrews 10. It's an amazing verse. You don't hear this. I don't hear it very often. Hebrews 10:22 tells us this. It says, "Let us draw near with a sincere heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled clean from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water." Oh man, that's so great. So we got a new heart. We got a new heart. And we got a Spirit that we're sealed with till the day of redemption. And now Christ, just like the disciples saw the glory of the only begotten Son, we now have that within us. The Apostle Paul said it like this: "It's Christ in you, the hope of glory." So we have the glory, we have the new heart, and we are sealed with God's Holy Spirit. We are joined to be one with Him until the day of redemption. I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty awesome, pretty great stuff. But that's just a piece, a little snippet of what the new covenant, how great the new covenant really is. I'll talk to you next time. See you later.